Hello, I'm State Representative Mike Henne from the 36th House District. Welcome to Ohio in Focus.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Ohio in Focus, the program that brings state government to you. I'm your host, Mike Ditto. We have with us again today State Representative Mike Henne, who serves the 36th House District, which includes portions of Montgomery County. Representative, thanks for being with us again.
All right, thanks for asking me.
So this is your second time back. You've been in the legislature for a little over a year now. It's been a pretty busy session. What's the first full year been like for you?
It's been a little crazy. Yet, coming from the business world, things move a lot slower. Although we've been very busy, it just seems like sometimes things move a little slower in the legislature. Yes, but it seems like we've made a lot of progress, and I'm excited to be involved.
For those of your constituents who haven't seen the program before or haven't had the opportunity to meet you yet, if you could tell them a little bit about yourself, your background, your family, and all the wonderful things about you.
Great. I was born and raised in the Northmont, Clayton-Englewood area. Went to Northmont High School, went to Miami University. I've since graduated, and my brother and I own an insurance agency in Englewood. I have married to my wife, Jennifer, for 24 plus years. I have 4 kids, Amanda, Rebecca, Matthew, and Nicholas. And now I have 2 jobs.
How's it been like balancing the schedule between your private sector job and being a state legislator?
It's been a challenge. I didn't realize, even when I'm not in Columbus working on issues, I mean, there's still a lot of constituents want to meet with me. I go to a lot of school board meetings and township trustees, city councils, and just a lot of people really would like my ear. Sure. And it takes a lot of time, and you know, it's been a lot of fun, but I haven't ripped up the insurance sales this past year, but we're finding a better balance.
But you're helping your constituents. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Now, you've had a busy session this year, and I think the last time that you were on the program, you had mentioned to me and to your viewers that really jobs and the economy was or they were the 2 main issues that were facing your district, and certainly they've been the issues that have been facing the whole state of Ohio. Is that still true today?
Absolutely. I mean, we still have unemployment over 8%, and it just seems like everything we're talking about starts with jobs. You know, getting Ohio more business friendly and jobs. You know, we're doing other things too, but it does seem always come back to jobs.
Speaker Batchelder has indicated on a couple of occasions that really that the legislature's focus has been on jobs and the economy since day one, but that there have been other issues that we've tackled concurrently. And you had a bill on the House floor just this week, House Bill 341, dealing with fraternal benefit societies. I have to confess I didn't know what that was all about, but could you tell us what that bill did?
Sure. You know, it's not a surprise that insurance happened to be my first bill. That is my profession. Fraternal benefit societies are typical ethnic or religious type organizations who, over the years, to become more financially sustainable, have gotten into selling small policy life insurance and even some annuities. And they do this without the same requirements of a life insurance company. So the premise of the bill is to put them with some financial standards, so to say. Sure. So that, you know, when you buy insurance, you're really buying nothing more than a promise. And a promise is no better than who's making the promise. With the financial stability behind it, the promise is much more viable. You know, it gives people a degree of security that what they're buying is going to be there when they need it. So, and this was supported by the National Association of Fraternal Organizations. So they really wanted to hold themselves up to a standard. Sure. So, you know, it was a great, it was a great experience, and I'm glad we were able to help them out and to help out their consumers.
And that bill passed out of the House this past week. It's on its way to the Ohio Senate for consideration there. And another bill that I have seen that you've introduced is House Bill 444, dealing with an issue that's specific to Montgomery County. What's that bill all about?
Yeah, schools are all struggling these days. They've, the property values are down, and the state didn't have the same amount of money. Although we gave them more of state money, the federal stimulus money that used in the last General Assembly wasn't there. So the schools are, they're financially all hurting. Came to me from one of my districts and said, you know what, why don't you give us a little more opportunity to make money? So the bill actually, and we've worked with the Chamber of Commerce to try to draft the bill so that they're not directly competing with the private sector, but this gives them a little more opportunity to make some money. Now, this doesn't fix the school funding issue. Mm-hmm. We still have a lot to work to do on that, but in these 4 areas, it allows them to sell their brand. Okay, they're the Tigers or the Lions or whatever. They're allowed to sell their brand. Mm-hmm. Number 2, they are allowed to rent their facilities for a profit. Right now, they're only allowed to recoup their costs. So imagine maybe a for-profit business, maybe like a driver's ed class would like to bring their services to the school to make it more convenient for the students. Sure. And at the same time, the school can make a little money. They can rent out a classroom. The next item it does is allowed to sell educational services. So, maybe they can take their mission of education a degree further, but they need money to do that. So sure. They could sell maybe Spanish classes in the evening, or maybe they've got these home ec rooms. They could teach a creative cooking class or whatever they'd like. They can sell their educational services. And the final bill allows them to sell their ideas. Once again, it has to be within the function of the school. They can't design a new way to make widgets and sell that idea, but they can maybe as we become more digitally technological in the educational world, maybe they come up with an online model that they can sell to other districts. Or in one specific case, a school came to me, they've got a pay system that their teachers all like, and they think that they can sell this to other school districts. And make some money.
Was it a school or a constituent that brought the idea forward?
It was actually that school district that came up with that idea. And the job is about listening to people and hoping to take their ideas and put it in legislation so that it helps them and other Ohioans, and that's what happened.
You've had another resolution that has been introduced, and I believe, if I'm right, that you introduced with your colleague, Representative Bill Hayes, dealing with pregnancy resource centers. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Pregnancy resource centers provide a lot of services to women. I've never heard anybody say they like the idea of more abortions. Okay, and that is exactly what these pregnancy centers do. They help women through these trying times. They will provide ultrasound services, they provide pregnancy tests, and then throughout the pregnancy they provide a support system. They'll help them come up with maternity clothes, parenting classes. There's a lot of things they do. And then once the baby is born, one of the, I've been criticized, it says, you know what, you believe in no abortions, yet you aren't willing to help these people out when they are struggling. Well, that's exactly what these pregnancy centers do. They'll help them with provide formula when they need it. They'll baby clothes. They perform the support system that all these women with these unwanted pregnancies or surprise pregnancies have, so they can raise a healthy, productive child. So I really think they do such a great service to society that we felt it was important to honor them with a resolution.
There have been some critics of the legislature that have said, well, we haven't had legislators that have been focusing enough on jobs, focusing too much on social issues. How do you respond to that type of criticism? Is it something that can be done at the same time?
Yes, I mean, it's to me, that's kind of a distracting comment. Obviously, we've been working on jobs. We've passed so many bills that are pro-jobs and getting our government in line so that we are we're showing the rest of the country we're open for business. But that doesn't mean we can't, I deal with constituent issues all the time. It doesn't mean that we can only focus on one thing at a time. There's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and we've spent a lot of time on jobs, but we've also addressed a lot of other issues facing Ohio.
You've been in the General Assembly now for 14 months. A lot has happened. It's been a busy session. What do you hope to accomplish or work on beyond the bills that you've introduced for the remainder of this 129th General Assembly?
Well, one thing that's been a real passion of mine is the municipal income tax. Mm-hmm. When I decided to run for office, I'm in insurance, so I went to all my commercial clients and I go, what makes it hard to do business in Ohio? Number one was workers' comp, and there's a committee working on workers' comp issue. Right. Number two was municipal income tax. Mm-hmm. So this is something I've been working with the tax administrators, the CPAs, the Department of Taxation, and trying to find a better way to simplify the tax process for all these cities with their
Sure.
commercial clients. Imagine being a plumber and you have 10 employees. Well, they go over here in the morning to snake a drain. In the afternoon, you're fixing a sink over here, and in the evening, you're fixing a broken pipe. Times 10 employees for 365 days. You have to track every hour where that employee is so that you can know exactly who you owe income tax to. That is such a burden on a small business. They have to spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort that could be used to hire another employee or to promote their business more. There has to be a better way, and we need, now the city, we can't draft the legislation so that the cities are suffering. We have to find a balance in there, and that's why bringing all the parties together has been important. You can't just listen to one side of the equation. And I think we're getting there. It's been a long road, and I think we got a long way to go. But one of the city's biggest concern is that we're going to start collecting the city income tax for them. Right. And that is something we've tried to stay away from. We've heard what the cities had to say, and we're trying to draft the legislation so it strikes a better balance without collecting it. They think they can do a lot better job collecting it. They know their communities. They know who's working in their communities. So they can do a better job collecting it. But there's no reason why we can't all get on the same page. There's 500 and some municipalities collecting income tax, and they all do it a little bit different. There's no reason we can't make it simpler for the businesses and all get on the same page and at least help them out in that manner.
What would you say has been the most enjoyable part about being a state representative in the 14 months that you've been here?
I love meeting with constituents. I love talking to classes. I love it when they come to the State House and I get to show them, what we do up here. Mm-hmm. That's been the most enjoyable part. I really like the people part of it. There's so many good people with such good ideas and all, and I just meeting with everybody and listening to them, and that's by far the best part of this job.
And very quickly, we've got about a minute left here, and if you could remind your constituents what committees you serve on. There's been some committee shuffling recently. I'm not sure if you've been affected by any of that, but if you could remind us what committees you're on and how your constituents can get in touch with you, we'll close it out today.
Fantastic. I'm on the Insurance Committee, which was a natural, Financial Institution and urban development. Mm-hmm. I'm on the Education Committee, and I'm on the Economic Development Committee. If you have any ideas or you have a concern that you'd like to get in touch with me, my telephone number is 614-644-8051, and my email address is district36@ohr.state.oh.us.
Representative Henne, thank you for coming back a second time. I appreciate it. Maybe you'll come back once things are settled down again in a few months here, and we'll talk to you and see what else has been happening in the 36th.
I'm ready.
Very good. We appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing all of you here again next time on the next edition of Ohio in Focus, the program that brings state government to you. Thanks again for joining us.